Right, so this is how I categorise when I'm taking the ornaments off of the tray. This is sort of the first stage. Yes, every single decoration, especially the breakable ones, do get wrapped up in kitchen roll, and that's what that pile is at the moment. I have these books and I try and categorise them into the different themes. Like I have all the soft toys, a lot of these baubles here, and like the Mrs. Potts and Chip, and I've also got obviously Miss Piggy and Comet. They've all still got their boxes, so I do remember that which ones basically do have their own boxes, like the Disney one and everything. So I've put those separately until we get the main box down from the loft, so that they can be packaged up. Then I've got all the candy canes, all the poinsettia heads, the bows are there, and then beads, tinsel and things like that. And as I say, this is quite time consuming, but tidying it up and organising it this way, putting them back, it saves breakages and it's easier to put them on the tree when it comes to the following year. Right, so we've just got the boxes down from the loft. Me and hubby managed to do it because they're pretty empty, but I'll have to wait till my son comes back from work to help put them up. So this is the amount of boxes and everything.
Yeah, way too much.
This is actually the dining room tray, which we didn't actually put up this year, but we've got it down because I think a couple of items did actually go in there because we opened it up. That is the box that's now sort of near enough deteriorating now for the main tree. Then I have boxes, so I do have a way of boxing things up so it's easier to put them back up on the next Christmas. So I will hopefully show you my process so that you can see how we pack our decorations up. So hopefully to alleviate any breakages and make it, as I say, a lot easier to find pieces and put them out for the following year. Right, so this is the box for the lounge, mainly for the tree. Besides the train snow scene, which I think hubby's going to be delegated beans is here to put these sort of things back. And what it is, this has like the packaging, like you can see that's the Disney bauble. And this one, that's Harry Potter. These are what I actually wrap all the decorations up in kitchen roll, and they get separated in all the boxes. And I've got a blue one down there, and then the bubble wrap is for Father Christmas. So, and all the tinsel and beads go in this one as well. Once I've sort of got a bit further on, I'll show you my progress. Right, this is what I mean. So I've categorised, I've left the bubble wrap and everything there. That's what we cover Father Christmas in off the tree topper. And this is what I mean. Until they actually break, I tend to keep a lot of the boxes. And I'm pretty good. I can remember exactly what goes in what, like these. That's got the names, the baubles with my son's name on it. That one was the Walt Disney one from Disney World, and that's the Marvel ones. That one has that little girl that's got my name on. We've got Tom's there. Then some of the new ones here, that were the Disney ones, and you'll be able to tell by the shape, like that's, I can see that's Mrs. Potts and Chip. So this is why I like to keep the boxes on. I know that's one of the more delicate baubles that a neighbour bought me back from one of the Christmas markets she went when she went round Europe. So this is what I mean, and it just, I know it seems a lot-winded thing, but at the moment we have got the fireplace on there and the fireplace down there, but we are thinking about watching Romancing the Stone, as we know the movie, but it's still a good movie, while we carry on with our progress to pack our Christmas decorations up. Right, so this is how we got so far. I've layered the box up. I meant to show you before we taped it up, or hubby taped it up, but never mind. So there's individual boxes that have got all the little ornaments wrapped up in kitchen roll. It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle in a way. Everything is in there, but it's not what I say squished down, but it's enough to stop the items from moving about when the box is tipped up to go in the loft. And then I put some tinsel in there and then layered the soft ornaments on top just to protect everything, as I said, from moving about. And we're just about to take items and put them in the boxes. We've got a red basket there to put any batteries in, as we don't leave batteries in the ornaments unless they're like the watch type batteries and very hard or don't come out, but most items they do come out of the ornaments. Yeah, I'm just resting my legs for a moment while I'm having a coffee that hubby's kindly made. And then I'll get another of these boxes. Now these boxes we've gotten from a number of different places. Where do we get these from? It was either Home Bargains or it could have been B&M.
I think the last ones with the white lids was BM.
Right.
No, the Range.
Was it the Range? Oh, right. But I said these ones with the black lids are enough to get up into our loft access, as I said. Because, as I said before, you have to make sure the boxes are small enough to go through the opening. So, and then I've just got a few more pieces down there. Then we've got the lights and we've got the band to take off of the tree. This is the biggest job of all, is getting obviously the main tree down. Yeah, I do apologise for my video yesterday. It didn't quite turn out how I was expecting, but I'll probably explain that a bit later on. And I think we'll just have our drinks and then we'll carry on. Right, so this is the bedroom tree decorations, and there's the tree there. As I said, when I unpacked them, I believe I shared this, and this was what we used to have when we used to have a different coffee table in the lounge, and we used to keep our remotes and everything in it. And I said it's repurposed it, and I like it because it's got all the different compartments. Then this lays in the bottom of one of the boxes, and I just cover it over so the pieces don't get dislodged. And then I've got the other card decorations in the tin, and that will go in the same box. I've got a few pieces left in the bedroom to pack up, and I've got 2 plastic tubs to finish filling up with pieces from the kitchen and main bedroom. So here we have 3 of the plastic tubs that I'm finishing off, and I thought I'd just show you the progress because obviously these will be continue to be layered up. This one has got the decorations for our bedroom. Underneath, although I haven't used it for a couple of years, is the Advent, the nativity scene that my aunt knitted for my boys. And those are those 3 trees that I had on the dining room table. I've got the decorations that usually go in the games room, and some of the decorations that went on the dining room tree, which we didn't put up. Do excuse, I'm a bit out of breath at the moment. This is everything to do with the kitchen and all the plates, serving dishes and everything, tins. Underneath here I've got pieces from the breakfast bar, and underneath is the tin that's got the decorations to the breakfast bar kitchen tree. And then, as I said, it's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. Then in here I've got a lot or most of my boxed items, like the village and everything. A couple of these items I didn't actually put out this year, and 2 of the canvases has gone in there. The last one is over there, that will go in this cupboard here. So I'm hoping by the end of the day I've got it all packed up. Then when my son comes home from work, along with hubby, we'll put everything up in the loft, and he's just collecting my wreaths at the moment from all the windows. And then I'm just going to put the last layers on in these boxes, and then I can show you them before they're sealed up. Right, so the next level is all the rest of the decorations from the main bedroom. That is actually the tree top. It's another Santa one. That actually belongs to the dining room tree. As I said, we didn't put the dining room tree up this year. And these are off of the coffee tables from the lounge. And then I've got the trees and the deer pieces that were at the back doorway. And then we've just added on the wreaths off the windows, and the slightly larger one that's at the bottom is the same, slightly larger, that's from the front doors, so they all go in like that. And then I've just got one more box that's in there that has all the stockings and sacks in. That's also got to go up in the loft. So this is the bag. I explained about this. It was called a one of the old camping chairs. This is where I keep all the foliage in around the home, and little mini trees and garlands and everything. They all go in here, and it tends to work out just right. So except for that box to be put the lid on securely, and get the other box out of there that's got stockings and the sacks in, that I'll only have one box, which I'm not 100% sure that's going to get put up in the loft tonight, because I like to have a quick whip round, maybe all three of us, because there's always something obvious that gets missed. Plus I've got a very tiny pile in the games room of items I didn't use this year, and I don't think I used last year. So I want to review those to see whether I'm actually considering either reusing them in another way, or do a DIY, or just get rid of them. So I've just put those to one side. So the other box, or the last box, I'll probably put up in the loft, or should I say the guys will, tomorrow. right, I'm just coming on to finish today. I've just kept one box down from the loft actually. It's got a few Christmas bits in, and I've got a small little pile to go through tomorrow. Contacted our son as well about getting our granddaughter's Christmas Eve box back so we can pack that up and put that in the loft as well. So I'm quite happy. I think we both are actually, me and hubby, because we've actually managed to get all the decorations down in one day and packed up. As I said, I've just got a little tiny pile to review tomorrow to decide whether I want to keep them or not. Also, I just fill you in very briefly, and husband wants to trade me in for a new model because yes, I did have a few problems yesterday. I don't know whether I mentioned, but I was having problems with my legs. I have done for quite some time actually, over a couple of years, but it got really bad over Christmas and I got concerned. So I went to the doctors. I already had an appointment to discuss about my diabetes, so I've been seeing him every week for about 6 or 7 weeks now, and he overran by about 40 odd minutes, and when it come to my appointment, there was still about 5 people after me, and their appointments were well gone, so he was in a rush, and I could see that, and I knew what was going to happen because I got a couple of things I wanted to discuss with him, but he actually turned around and said he hadn't got the time and could only deal with one issue. He wanted to discuss the diabetes, and I said no, I'll drop that, I want to discuss my legs. Well, he examined my legs, he did my temperature, did my blood pressure, blah 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 blah, and then decided he wanted me to go to the hospital with some paperwork and have a second opinion. So he said, take the paperwork to A&E and they'll direct you to where you need to go. So that's what I did. So by the time I left the surgery, I got my son to pick me up. Luckily, it was his day off. So I actually logged into the reception that I needed to, which was the second reception I went to, at 1:20. And I finally got to see somebody about, must have been about 2:30, which I don't suppose was too bad. And had blood tests, had my temperature taken, my blood pressure, and you name it, progged and everything. And she said I needed to wait for the results. It was because on the paperwork the doctor sent, it was suspected that he wanted to rule out a blood clot because I've already had one, so he wanted just to have that sort of crossed off, and they couldn't do it at the surgery, so I had to go to the hospital for that done. It was going to be 2 hours to get the blood results back due to the fact that we're really busy. So I did eventually go and have some lunch because I felt lightheaded. Because by this time it was, I think when I got to the cafe it was like only about 10-15 minutes later, because the cafe is completely opposite to this reception desk, and they said 2 hours, so I thought, well, 5:20 time. I went back less than an hour later anyway, after I had a drink and something to eat. I had my sausage roll, and I finally got, I did actually have another word with reception because it, you know, I thought, how long is it going to be? And there was 1 person in front of me to see a junior doctor and 5 to see the consultant. And I said, oh. I finally got to see someone about, I think it was 6:30, 7:15, would you say? I might have texted hubby, I was just texting backwards and forwards because they were getting concerned because I was on my own and they were just worried. So again, I had all the tests done again, checked my blood pressure, temperature, blah, 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 blah again. And it turned out that it was negative for blood clot. He said, and examined all my legs and everything, and I was in such dreadful pain. And obviously, if you know about hospital chairs, not the most comfortable. Well, then after that, he got his a senior doctor in to double check my legs because they were concerned. Then they said they'll recheck my blood tests and said I'm unfortunately going to have another lot of blood tests. We want to rule out a few more other things. And I thought, oh no. But they said by this time it was getting too late. So they said they would take the bloods, which I'm all bruised now because I had blood taken up both arms, and the results will be hopefully a week at the doctor's. So yeah, and I finally left the hospital at 10 to 8 last night, and I'd been out the house since about 10 to go to the doctor's, then obviously the hospital. So, and I couldn't blame the staff. The staff were amazing. It was just how it works, and obviously getting through everybody and what it is. If you are actually referred to this certain unit, you stay there and they try and tick off as many things as they can. If you need x-ray, if you need a scan, if you need blood tests, blah blah blah. And so I know there was 2 people that were actually waiting for beds that they decided to keep them in. So yeah, so that unfortunately was my day. It started off okay. I got our main bed done, and I got the slow cooker on, as I said. But I'm sure you're bored about all this. I know I'm a walking disaster. I know. If it's not one thing, hubby is nodding in the background. That's why I did ring him at work and say I was going to the hospital. He wanted to have a pass out of work, and I said no, because sometimes it's nice to have that bit of support. It depends on how ill I am or how far gone you are. If I'm likely to doze off or felt not all with it, then yeah, it's nice to have somebody with you, because when we was at A&E on the 21st December, I felt myself nodding off, and I thought if I hadn't had hubby there, if my name had been called, I probably wouldn't have heard. But as it was just my legs, even though I was tired and up most of the night, I've been most of Christmas actually, and I think this is what the problem is. And also he reckons it's down to my back after all. So yeah, I've got to have another appointment at the doctor's next week. Now, let's get off of this because I've waffled on enough about my ailments. If it's not one thing, it's something else. I'm just hoping, everything's supposed to run in 3, so I'm hoping, yeah. So a lot of things I might be doing for the next few days, maybe sitting on the floor doing things, you know, and sorting out whatever. But at least we got all the decorations sorted, and hubby was a big help with that. Now, along with my organising and decluttering, which will be starting in the next day or so, it would have started tomorrow, but it looks like we've got our granddaughter coming and we're babysitting while her parents have some errands to run. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get much done tomorrow, except that little bit that I've got in the games room that I want to sort. So what I thought I was doing while I was going round, I'm going to start picking out, and I'm hoping everybody follows with me who's following my channel, is to pick out or pull out 7 items for 7 days to leave your home. And I've got my 7 items here because I knew straight away what they were going to be. I wasn't going to start this until Monday, but it doesn't matter. Aim for 7 days. I mean, it doesn't have to be 7 items. I just picked out 7 items for 7 days. I did something very similar to this last January, although I think my target was 5 items, but very often it was more than that because I was doing quite a massive clear out. But as I'm not actually starting my clear out just yet, I've started with my 7 items and I've got them here. And so I will show you what I've pulled out. Now, admittedly, I haven't bought any magazines for years. These are actually 2015, they're June. And these were actually in the caravan. And I just kept them there, even though I've looked at them hunting times. I tend to keep something in the caravan, but I brought them home. They've been sitting in our bedroom for a good many weeks now, so they are going. So I've just counted those as one item. As I said, we don't tend to have magazines as such now, unless it's something like Camping in a Caravan and comes through the post. This is going to be done. This was the snowy blanket I had on the coffee table over here, and yeah, our granddaughter happened to knock a glass of drink and it went all over, so I'm just going to dump it and get another bit for next, should I say, this Christmas. I've got an old towel that's been ripped, so that's going, and a pair of my son's trousers that can't be repaired and they are actually ripped, so that's those. I'm actually going to get rid of this now. This was a little project I did in the summer at my craft group. That is going. And I have got a lamp here that's going. It's all been dented. I put it aside for so long now, for about a month, and I've decided I'm going to get rid of that. And the next thing is just some general rubbish. It's the box for the deep fat fryer. Normally we keep packaging, or we actually flat pack it and put it in our loft. This wasn't a very expensive item, so we've decided just to get rid of it. This is the packaging to that stag head. I've repackaged it in another box that can go, and just I've actually got rid of no end of these. These are the Primark bags because I had all the gifts and that in. So that is more than 7 items. I'm counting the rubbish as 1, lamp 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I count that as, well, actually it's more than 7 items, but I've counted it as 7 items. So 7 items in 7 days, and I've started today, so hopefully you'll follow me along. Even if you start it in a couple of days, as long as you try and do it for 7 days. And although I have a planner and I have a calendar, what I suggest you can do if you want to do is write at the end of each day, tick off that day to say you've got rid of at least 7 items. If you want, you can just total up with your tick how many items you've got rid of, because you might find if you just say 5 to 7 items, you'll probably find it's going to be more. I found that last year. I'm sure there's still plenty of stuff I could get rid of, and then either get rid of it as you go along, depending on when it's your rubbish day, or when you go to the charity shop, or if there's things that you can put aside. Sometimes I've even had a box where if anybody came to our home, or a friend or something, I'll say, oh, is there anything out the box you want before it goes to the charity shop? You can do it that way. Or even, although it might defeat the object, as I'm going on a no spend, I've already said this, I think, in the past, you can do swaps with a friend, a neighbour, a family member, anybody, you know, rather than actually go and spend money. Maybe you can each have a swap box or something. I know I've heard of swapping clothes and everything, but you can do it with your decor pieces or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to finish it there because it has been an extremely long day, and we want to carry on watching Lucifer because we're on season 4 now. But I just wanted to come on and just finish this video and sort of just state what's been going on the last couple of days. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.